Hey, I'm Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to talk about plateaus. So if you've hit a plateau, here are some tips to help and make sure that you keep making progress and maybe some things that you're missing in your training. The first thing is most people will do a lot of tricep pushdowns to build their bench, and they're not wrong. The tricep pushdown is a massive bench builder, and it also saves the shoulders, which you know I'm a big fan of. But the problem is that most people don't use tempos. So if I'm going to do a tricep pushdown, then most people are just going to do it. They're not going to think about how fast they're going. But now if you think this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you've completely changed the exercise. You've negated some of the stretch reflex and you're making the muscle work way, way harder, which is going to build your bench. Now this isn't the be all end all. It's just a factor. So a lot of my accessory work, sometimes my warm-ups, will be done in tempos in order for my muscle to not get used to the same stimulus. So that particular series is, I want you to think about slowing some things down and make it more difficult to gain in progress. Okay, the last exercise I showed you was a tricep pushdown, and what we did is we modified tempo. But now what we need to do is think about modifying the angle. So now, regular tricep pushdown, that's great. My body gets used to it after 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it overhead. So now, even though it looks and appears to be the same muscle, it's actually working at a completely different angle. Therefore, it's a completely different stimulus, which could or should lead to more progress. And that's why it's important to vary your exercises and i.e. vary your angles. Now for some people, they don't have a lot of adjustability as far as maybe you work out in a garage or you work out at a normal like box gym and you don't have a lot of different types of accessory exercises or maybe attachments. Change the angle. So 1 week I would do it here, right? 1 week I would do it here. And then 1 week I would switch it and go isolateral, which means one-sided. And the next week I would do it here. Now, those are all tricep extension exercises, but they're attacking the muscle in a slightly different way, and slightly different can mean more growth. The next thing is changing resistance types. So you saw in the last exercises, we used a cable machine. Now the cable has some great advantages. The cable stays the exact same weight through the entire range of motion because it's on a cable machine. But now if we use a band and do a tricep extension, the band is getting harder, harder, and harder, and harder as it goes down, and lighter, and lighter, and lighter as it goes up. That's a big difference on how the muscles react. So now we have exercise changes, we have tempos, and we have resistance types, which I think is crucial. Band tension reacts to your body way different than regular like cable tension. So utilizing a band for triceps is going to elicit some more growth as well and help you break through some plateaus. Now the last big thing to breaking over plateaus is sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. And what does that mean? That means that sometimes you may be training too hard for your body to actually elicit a result. So if we look at it in this particular fashion, if I'm going to plant a seed, say a flower, and it's just a seed at this point, if I pour the optimal amount of water on it, it's gonna grow optimal and probably as fast as it possibly can. But it doesn't necessarily mean if I dump 5 gallons on that seed that it's gonna grow faster or better. And people don't look at training that way. What I mean is that you can only take as much training as you can recover from. And recovery has to become a major issue. Now this could be dieting, right? This could be sleeping and recovery, or it could be lowering your stress levels. So you find a lot of people like myself, O'Hearn, Stan Efferding, these guys, we try to set our whole day around our training, which is optimal, but it's hard to do for most people. So the big thing you want to do is be timed with your meals, make sure you're trying to eat as clean as you possibly can, make sure you're getting enough rest and recovery. These 3 things are massive into making progress, and a lot of times it's what I see being the limiting factor. Too much stress, not enough nutrition, and not enough recovery. And those are the big things that I think are most people's plateau issues. They're using the same resistances too often. They're using the same exercises and the same angles too often. They're utilizing no external thought process on diet or recovery. If you can cover a lot of these different things that we went over, guaranteed that one of you or a lot of you are missing one key point of this particular information. You may be using too much free weight, not enough band. You may be not eating clean enough. All these different things are going to add up and cause a plateau either sooner or later. So try to fix as many of these variables as you possibly can.